Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Full of personality. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history.
Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side. Enjoy yourself. Free your mind.
Kicking it with KeKe.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, KeKe Chanel, award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, certified life coach, as well as your host of Kicking It with KeKe. The overall theme for this podcast is all about personal development, but we talk to people from all walks of life. Today, I am joined with a fellow author, a newly published author. Hey, shout out, y'all give her some love.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Yes. And I don't know if you're new to the channel, but I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. So I'm gonna turn it over to you. You tell the people who you are and what you do. Thank you for coming to kick it with me, first of all.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity, and I'm very appreciative that you allowed me to come on your podcast. But my name is LaKisha. I'm from Amy, born and raised. I've been getting my hands kind of like wet with the writing a little bit. I've read books a lot. I've been reading for like maybe the past 5 years. So I said, you know what, let me try to do my thing at the whole writing. And it took me a while. Like my first book took me about a year because I just wanted it to be good. So I just started getting into that. I'm currently working on my second book. That's about it. As far as a little personal, information. I have a fiance, a little 1-year-old daughter. She's amazing. But that's really about it as far as like a little bit of background.
Absolutely. So y'all heard it here, like LaKisha.
Yes.
That's how you go. Like that, if they wanted to go and purchase your book today, what do they type in? Do they just type in LaKisha? Is it what's the name?
So if you go on Amazon, it's live on Amazon as a Kindle ebook. I also have paperbacks that just went live a couple of days ago. The title of the book is called Everybody Ain't Your Friend, and it's by LaKisha Burkett. There's another book by a similar title, but just make sure it says LaKisha Burkett at the bottom because that's mine. But you could purchase it on Amazon. I think it's like $2.99 for the Kindle version. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free. And I think the paperback is $9.99. You could also follow me on Facebook at LaKisha Burkett or Yes I Write, and Instagram at There Go Keisha.
Listen, let me tell you something. That book is not gonna stay $9.99. Just gonna put it out there. So y'all gonna have to go get it today. Cause it ain't stay. Look, Coach KeKe just said the book is not gonna stay $9.99. Y'all might still get the Kindle version for $2.99, but the paperback for sure is about to change the price. So there you go. That's it. That's all. But yes,
please,
I
go
love
support,
it.
Go support.
Yes, go support. I love it. As an author, I love up and coming authors. I love newly published authors. And before we get into the writing side, I have to ask you a question about personal development because this is the overall theme for the podcast, right? So I asked all the guests about personal development. When it comes to personal development, what does that mean for LaKisha?
To me, it just means like taking a step back to look at yourself, examine your flaws, examine your strengths, always look at ways you could improve or ways you could get better. That's really how you're going to excel in anything you do in life. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be open. You have to be like, okay, let me stop for a minute and just see what it is deep down inside of me that I could fix to make things better, not only for myself, but for the people that I encounter as well on whatever journey it is that you're seeking. But personal development always starts within yourself at first.
Girl, listen, you just had a mic drop moment. For real. Don't make me get the mic and start dropping real quick because I have it. But she's spitting knowledge like for real. And you have to start with self first because it's personal development. And I've come across so many people that don't want to take accountability for themselves. So they play that blame game and all of that. So look, you laughing. I know you want to talk about that a little because I know you probably
Somebody
did.
like that
Yeah.
before. I don't like it.
Right. So I like to ask that question because people need to hear different perspectives. And
Yeah.
you're young, but that answer was from an old soul. Like I'm a firm believer that just because you're old, it does not make you wise. And
Right.
people have things to say. You just have to listen. And then the people that's talking have to be intentional with your words so that they can resonate with people and
Yeah.
inspire them or empower them in some way. So
Right.
thank you for answering that question. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
no problem. No problem.
All right, so we talking about books, which I could talk about all day long.
Yes.
When did you know? I know you say you just started reading like a lot of books within the last 5 years, but over the last 5 years, when did you know that you fell in love with words? Like the words were powerful for you to dabble into creating your own stories.
Well, it just goes into, first of all, like what you like to read. And I
Mm,
know me, I love Black authors. Like, I'm going to support Black authors forever. And I especially love the type of books that truly speak and touch on like everyday things that we can relate to. I
mm-hmm.
don't really care for, I'm not going to say this. I'm going to say, I wish I saw more books that were a little bit more realistic when dealing with the Black community. A lot of times I see them like overly use of like the men always have to be a drug dealer, the woman just, and it's just always too much. It's like I think there's more to us than just putting us in that type of category.
Yes,
So so
there
for
you
me,
go.
like I fell in love with like reading something that made me be like, oh, I could relate to this, or like, wow, or at the end of a book, it's like an unexpected ending, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe like that happened, or if, and then it's like just how it feels in my mind, like it's like a mini movie to me, and I
Mhm.
just feel like if I could curl up with a good book, I could read all day, and that's just kind of what made me feel like, okay, this is something I enjoy doing. And then I played around with the idea of possibly one day writing my own book, but I just recently took it kind of serious just to see like if I could play my hand at this.
Well, I'm glad that you did. So, who are some of your inspirations? Who are some of the Black authors? Nothing against anybody else, because y'all know I love me some Stephen King.
Yeah,
But
one of the goats.
yes, who is somebody that you like admire when it comes to Black authors?
Well, this is Arthur. Her name is Nicole Martin Hill. Shout out to her.
Shout out.
She has a lot of great books on Amazon. If you ever had a second to kind of check her out, and when I kind of got into like wanting to get my hands wet with the writing, I kind of reached out to her because on Amazon there's like a little follow link.
Mm-hmm.
So I caught up with her on Instagram, and I had inboxed her just to let her know like, hey, what is some advice you would give to someone who's thinking about becoming a writer? And she was just like down to earth, open and honest. Like she gave me some really good pointers. So like I said, shout out to her because her books are really, really good. Her series are really, really good. She doesn't like draw them out too much or anything like that. Her character development is awesome. And one other person that I want to also shout out, she's from Amite as well, my hometown. Her name is Deandra Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
She just started writing back in April,
Mm-hmm.
and her books are doing really well. So when I saw she put out her first book, of course I reached out to her as well, and me and her been kind of like communicating every day because she's been constantly encouraging me as well. To like, girl, go ahead and put your book out. Don't be afraid. You have to have a tough skin. You may not always get the best reviews, etc. So I would have to like give my shouts out to them too, as far as like the whole writing situation, because they really have kind of like took me under their wing and kind of like gave me some good advice with it.
It's awesome because when I first started out, the authors weren't trying to help you. They weren't trying to give you advice until I got into a Facebook group called Reading in Black. Shout out to the group of amazing authors from that Facebook group, and they kind of like took me under their wing and gave me the information that they thought that I needed as a new and upcoming author, because let's just face it, it's a lot of authors out there, but some just don't understand that it's enough to go around.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
It's
enough
like
to
I told my fiance, I said, at this point it's in God's hand. Whatever happens with my book, at least I can say I put it out there. I'm gonna try my best to promote it. you know, it's always going to be new to somebody, because that's how I am. I've came across books that's been out for years, but it's new to me, and I enjoy them. So,
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
I got a task for you. I want you to go and look up KeKe Chanel on Amazon
I got
and get one of my books and read. I want to know what you think about it. Because I write
you.
suspense and psychological thrillers.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, so I like to get into people's heads, see how the mind works, and I'm gonna throw some twists and turns. Just when you think you know, I'm gonna turn it around. You ain't gonna know. But yeah, just do that for me and keep in touch, and we'll keep in touch as well. So,
Okay.
um, everybody ain't your friend.
Yes.
How did that come about? I love the name, and it's so true. The name right there would like, okay, I want to read this because I need to see what it's about.
Yeah, I came up with that because I feel like everybody done had at least one friend or cousin or family member, anybody that's and probably crossed them in some type of way. So I wanted to write a book kind of based off of something like that. It's definitely have like a realistic vibe to it. Like my characters are well developed, but they're, like I said, realistic. I don't have like the girl. She's a nice average looking girl. She's not over sexualized. The main guy, he has an honest job. He's not like a drug dealer trying to go clean or nothing like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it has a really good character development in it, but that's exactly what it is. It's about, you know, a young girl who's trying her best to like make it in this life, and she has a friend who is just pure jealousy. Like, so she's trying to like sabotage a lot of different things. And the other characters, as you read the book, you'll see how some other characters are crossed by people they consider friends as well. So it just overall has a good message to it at the end. And that's kind of like how I want to base all my books and moving forward. I want it to be something relatable, something that somebody say, oh my God, I remember I had a friend that kind of something like that happened to me or whatever. Like I just want to have a very good, realistic read for my readers to come, because like I said, I like realistic content, so that's kind of what I want to put out there.
And that's awesome because it's so relative for today's culture. And we all know about the young lady who went to on a vacation with her so-called friends and
Yes.
lost her life. So the book, I think that moving forward, this book is going to be amazing because the name by itself is
Yeah.
attention grabbing.
Yeah.
And so I I encourage all of the listeners to go and support this young author by purchasing her book. It's on Kindle for $2.99, y'all.
It's
The
free.
paperback is $9.99 for right now.
Yes.
And she just told me if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free.
Yes, you just download it.
Just
So
download it. So go get Everybody Ain't Your Friend.
yes, it's a really and it's a short read as well. It's not like a super long book. It's a really
Mhm.
short read because, like I said, it kind of just jumps right into it, gets to the point. And then, like I said, I always try to have some type of message in my books at the end. So, I mean, I feel like it'll be a really good read for anybody.
Right.
Very relatable. So,
And I love that. Okay, so creativity. Let's talk about that a little bit. When did you know that she was a creative person? Because it's in us if we tap
yeah,
into it, you know? And then I know your fiance is an artist. He does music. So
yes, he does
y'all just got
music.
a family
We
full of
do, we do, we do.
creativity over there.
Shout out to him as well, Jerry. You could check him out on Instagram at IamJQuick as well as YouTube. So make sure y'all look into that as well. He does amazing like videos and just great music content. So shout out to him, Bill. As
Yes.
far as the creativity, like I said, I never like doubt myself. I never put myself in a I can't do it category. You just have to try. And with the writing and stuff, I just felt like, well, I read so much, and it's like you kind of I read books, and not only do I read them, I always go to the reviews first before I even download the book. So if I'm looking at the reviews and everybody's saying, "Oh, this is a good book, such and such," I'm going to download it. I'm going to read it. So as far as the creativity is, like I had to study the craft before I even attempted to do it. So I had to tap into what I think most readers would like to read, what type of content they look for and stuff like that. And when I
Mm-hmm.
kind of got that out of the way, I said, okay, let me try this. So, and like I said, I know what I like, so I
Yeah.
figure it's people out there that like certain stuff as me. So I'm like, okay, well, let me try this, and that's kind of where it came from, just really trying to study like what I feel like other people would like, because I think that's what's most important, because that's gonna be your fan base is like what y'all like. So
Look, listen, what y'all like. Like I know what I like, but what y'all like. And
right,
it's good
so
that you're doing your research because some people just writing books, and it don't make no
yeah,
sense, and it's a mess. It's not trying to knock anybody, but come on now, don't we need to stop writing books just for the sake of saying I have put out a book. Take
yeah,
pride in it. Take comfort in knowing that you are giving the readers the best of you.
yes,
Yeah. Because I've been burned. Like my first book came out in 2012,
hmm,
and I went through a third party publishing company, and it was horrible, a hot mess. I
wow,
have flaws throughout the book. And I'm in the process. I'm gonna redo it myself and publish it under my publishing company.
hmm,
But I say that to say when we stop putting the integrity of our creatives works in the hands of somebody else, it just flows better
yeah, it
because they
does,
always want to change stuff, and they always want, this is what I think you should do and this is what I think you should do. But I could have allowed that to stop me or deter me. And although I don't get a lot of people to write reviews for my books, but they always say, hey, I read this book and it was awesome. Okay, leave a review because that matters, but that's a whole
right,
nother
it
story.
does.
But the one that's flawed the most tend to get the most reviews, and people love it in spite of it. They love the actual story and the relatability of it. So
Yeah,
I say all that and going around in circles to say, when you believe in yourself enough to stop making excuses for not doing it, then you see things through a different light. And
yeah,
then the things that you do create, they're 10 times better because you take more pride in them. You have more focus. You've studied. You look at people who write the same things as you and glean from them. Not trying to steal anybody's stuff because we don't want to
right,
plagiarize or whatever, but
right.
just use that as a map, and then veer off to your destination, however way you want to do it. As long as you have that map, you'll get there. You just got to figure out an alternate route. So, what's next for you though? I know you say you're working on book 2.
Yeah, I'm definitely working on book number 2. I think that's gonna be a really great book as well. And that's really it. Just my mind is just kind of steadily going as far as like how far do I really want to take this, and what's gonna come for the future. And all I know is I'm just gonna continue to try my best to put out very good content,
Mm-hmm.
and one day at a time. Like my first book took me a year, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was kind of procrastinating a little bit at first because I was like, where am I gonna go with this? Sometimes I had writer's block. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what the next character development was gonna be, but I just prayed about it, and it all kind of just kept falling into place. So, with this next book, it's kind of like I'm not even thinking I'm gonna keep topping this book and topping that
Mm-hmm.
book. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
just adds more stress to you. But I
Mm-hmm.
just know like I'm gonna continue to think everything through to give you guys like the best content, the most. And like I said, my books are always going to leave some type of message, especially for younger girls and younger women, because I feel like we get caught up in so much as women,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we just ignore red flags and relationships, friendships, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't listen to that little voice inside that says, hey, go another route, or don't do this, or don't do that. So I always want my books to kind of leave some type of message to somebody if they take it and just say, okay, this book opened my eyes for what I'm currently going through, so let me try to see how I could like rejuvenate myself, like fix
Mm-hmm.
myself to be a better woman or a better person moving forward. So that's the type of content like I like to put out. Something relatable, something down to earth, something that leaves a positive message for all of the readers. Sometimes my books are not even going to have a happy ending because that's just life. It's not
I
always
don't
going
write
to be
happy
happy.
endings. I don't
So
write happy endings. Like for real. Like I because I'm not saying that I'm opposed to it. It's just sometimes life ain't like that. And
yeah,
then because
exactly.
my characters have overcame so much, it's like, okay, we just living at this point. We're gonna go through
Right.
day by day because we've had this to come up. And I write paranormal suspense too. So I always have like a little supernatural type element in my book. So it's like, okay, we just gonna plan for today and we gonna see if we gonna still be here tomorrow.
Right.
Type deal.
Well,
And
I'll definitely check out your books because I truly enjoy like stuff like that, especially when most artists, because a lot of artists don't write about things like that. So it's
Yeah,
always like
check out one of my favorite is Deliver Me from Darkness.
the little men from darkness.
Deliver Me from
Oh,
Darkness.
deliver me from darkness.
Hmm.
Okay,
And it's about a young lady who she had everything and then she lost something and she turned her back on God and then that opened her life up to a whole lot of darkness. So now she's trying to find her way back to the light.
Okay, I
Yeah.
wrote that down too, so I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yes, absolutely. So you told us where to purchase the books. How can we connect with you on social media?
So, like I said, if you go to my Facebook, you can just follow my personal page, which is LaKisha Burkett. It's also linked to my writer's page, which is Yes I Write. And also on Instagram, there_go_Keisha. So there go Keisha on Instagram. And I'm always posting, content about my books, like what's to come in the future. So, you can interact with me that way. I'm very down to earth. So if anybody else is just like I was, you have questions or want to know anything or some positive feedback, even if it's constructive criticism, I don't care. Just connect with me some kind of way. I'm open to it.
I love it. I love that name though. There go Keisha. Like you said, there_go_Keisha. Do you have an
Yeah.
underscore behind the Keisha or no?
No,
Okay.
it's just there go Keisha.
All right, cool. Y'all, I'm gonna have all of this information, all of her information in the show notes. So go down to the show notes and connect with Keisha, man. She just put it out there that she is willing to help anyone who's aspiring to write and put their books out. I'm also a writing coach, so if you need the services, hey, just reach out. I mean, it's enough for everybody to go around and we sharing and we rising and we elevating together, right?
Yeah. It's a long way we're gonna make it. We gotta help each other out, man.
All right. So listen, I am about to do something. I've done it with one guest before, so you'll be the second guest that I've done it with. We're gonna pull from the purple hat, y'all.
Let's go.
This is a new segment that I have going on. The purple hat.
I hope it's a good topic, God. Please let it be good.
Okay, so we have a hat full of topics.
Let's go.
And let me do it like this because I don't want y'all to think I'm cheating. I'm shaking them up. All right, and so I'm getting ready to pull for one.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, I got it. Let me put this back. I don't need nobody saying, oh, KeKe was cheating. No. Steps to protect your vibe. Oh, I love this one.
That's a good one.
Steps to protect your vibe. Okay, let's get into it. What do you want to tell listeners? About steps to protect your vibe. Let's talk about it.
Well, I think for me, it would be like, first of all, you really got to know the people you even allow in your circle. All that underhanded, backhanded shade and, trying to low-key dish you and things like that. You got to pay attention to stuff like that because somewhere deep down, that person got something against you. They may not, have the nerve to really come out and say, hey, this is what it is. So you just have to watch something like that to protect your vibe. Also, just know who you are as a person. Like, you hang out with people that are on the same level as you. You can't be trying to rise to the top, but still hanging out with bums at the end of the day. You can't do that. So
don't do that. She just gave me some goosebumps, like for real. I tell anybody,
I can go on about that for days.
You an eagle, man. You soaring above everything. Don't be hanging out with chickens when you're an eagle. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Like for real. And I'm a firm believer that your vibe will attract your tribe. But you, like you said, you have to make sure that you're protecting yourself at all costs. That little gut feeling that you have, the goosebumps that you get, the hairs that stand on the back of your neck, that's discernment that just like something ain't right. Trust that. It's there as a warning sign to keep you protected, to keep you safe, to keep your vibe in check. So if you had to give 2 pieces of advice to young women all over the world, not just the young women, we here for the men too, because we all about elevation in our people, our culture, and our community, and all of that. What would it be when it comes to protecting your vibe?
For one, it will always be like the biggest to me is stay true to yourself. Stay true to who you are. You're going to attract what's meant for you to be around. Like, God is going to put the right people in your life regardless. So be true to yourself. If something seems off or something doesn't feel right about a specific person, or for some reason your energy just shifts when a certain person comes around, like, just, examine that, see what it is for, like, what it is for real. Like, you don't have to be around it, so that's the biggest thing. And then I don't know, the second piece of advice I would give is like, it's okay to like cut people off. It's okay, whether it's friends, family, it could be one of your favorite cousins. It's okay to let people go. Trust me, like I said, God is gonna always provide you with what you need, what person to get you to where you gotta go in life. You're gonna randomly bump into that person. If it's destined for you, it's gonna happen. So don't be afraid to like cut somebody off if they don't mean you the best, or if you just get a change of energy when they come around. Like, so those would be the two. Like, stay true to yourself and trust God. Like, just trust him on your journey. No matter what, he's gonna always put you right where you need to be.
Listen, if it's destined for you, it's gonna happen. I don't get speechless often, but I'm so that right. Y'all, Keisha is dropping gems. And for anyone who's listening, take heed to that. God gave her those words today, on this day,
For somebody.
for somebody.
Yes.
Especially the part where it's okay to cut people off. You can cut people off and still love them.
Yeah.
You love them from a distance, and you know that those people don't mean you any good.
Right.
You know that the time has expired.
Right. And it's not gonna feel good. Like, it's not gonna feel good to cut those people off.
No.
You gotta get past that feeling. You can't feel sad for trying to cut somebody off that don't mean well. Especially like if you're on your journey of trying to do something, the strangers you meet are going to be your biggest supporters before some of your friends or some of your family members. You got friends or family that'll support and shout out anybody all day long on Facebook, but the second you try to do it, it's crickets. So you have to notice stuff like that. You really do. And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt to be like, oh man, it's my best friend or it's my favorite family member. I gotta cut them off, but you gotta do it. Each day is gonna get easier, but you have to. And that's something I'm personally learning. That's why I said it. So
let me drop the mic again, because for that was for me too. Like, that was a word for me, because you're so right, and we get caught up in the not being supported by the people who are closest to us. We got to stop that. For anyone who's listening, who is upset or angry or mad or whatever, or feeling some type of way toward the people in your life who you love the most and have known the longest, and they don't support you, stop.
Right.
Don't ask them again.
Yep. One thing my fiance, Jerry, has told me on this journey is like, don't ever beg for support. It's going to come to you. Mm-hmm. Like, don't beg for it. Don't reach out for it. You do your part and it's going to come. And that's something else I've learned. And I say, you know what? You're right. Like, I'm not going to continue to beg this person, that person. Like, hey, why you didn't share my book? And it's just a share. It's free.
It's free.
It's free to support.
But when they don't want you to get bigger than them, or they don't want you to stop being the person that they've always known, and you elevating and they're not, it is a big deal. It's a big deal for them to share it, because they don't want you to know that they support you. But they watching, they looking and lurking.
They definitely are. You should see how many on my Facebook, when I go to my writers page, you should see how many page clicks I get or insights I get, but the numbers don't reflect in the things that people like or share. And it's like, wow.
It's like, wow, but you know what? Keep doing it. Keep doing you, because they're watching. So they're getting something that you're saying. They won't tell you until you get the support of other people, but they probably still wouldn't tell. I don't get caught up in that. I never get caught up on numbers, because why?
Right.
They rise and fall every day, all day.
Yeah.
Yep. And so anyone who is worrying about the numbers, man, I would rather have 50 loyal supporters than 500 just lurking and not liking, not supporting, not engaging, and all of that. So we have to make sure that we use our social media to pour into the people who's pouring back into us, and stop focusing on the rest.
Right.
Just take that as they're looking and they're getting something that I'm saying. So as long as I know that they're there, I'm going to keep doing me.
Right. And it don't matter if you have 1, 2 supporters at the end of the day, just keep going. Like, you have to be confident in your work. That's what's going to speak. So if you're confident in that, just know that, and that's personally what I'm telling myself as well on a day-to-day basis. Like, I'm confident in knowing that I try my best to put out great content, and somebody's gonna like it. I don't care if it takes 100 years, and I'm not even here to see it. I know it's gonna touch somebody at some point, and that's what I tell myself. So
Absolutely. And you're well on your way, dear. You're well on your way. You're ahead of the game because the stuff that how old are you?
I'm 33.
Yeah,
I don't.
you don't look like, I thought you was way younger than that. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, you way ahead of the game because not everybody that's 33 talks like that.
Well, my
Like for real.
grandparents, they raised me, so that's probably where I get a lot of it from. Like, my grandmother always used to give me like that old school advice, and I guess I just took it with me, So it's been helping.
Hey, it's hipping and it's working. And I know that listeners are inspired. And I know that it's resonating with people who are watching. So you guys make sure that y'all go and support her. Go connect with her. Because just think about it. She talking like this on the podcast. Just imagine what she about to start doing.
Right. Thank you.
Yep. Just imagine what she about to start doing and the things that she gonna say to pour in your life even more. So yes, yes, yes. Tell the people again how and where they can go ahead and get this book. Everybody
Once
ain't your friend.
Right. Once again, everybody ain't your friend. It is on Amazon right now. Just type in the title, author name, LaKisha Burkett. Also, Facebook, LaKisha Burkett. Facebook, yes, I write. Instagram, there go Keisha. There _go _Keisha. And like I said, I'm always posting book content on there, so you can just keep up with me that way. Like I said, if anybody out there needs any advice, I'm always going to help out. I was once seeking advice, and certain people reached out, certain people didn't. I didn't let it bother me, but I would never do that to the next person. So if I can help
Facts.
you, I will.
That's facts, and that's how I live my life. Why should someone who's reaching out to me have to go through what I went through if I can help them not have to go through it?
Right. Yep.
Mhm.
So
Paying it forward, paying it forward. Okay, so on a personal note,
mhm.
what would your now self tell your young self about anything that we talked about today?
There's so much I would tell my younger self. But I really wish I could just tell her to like make better decisions. Like I said, with those red flags, hey, look out for them. We know better. We just don't always do better sometimes. So
Facts.
I would definitely tell my younger self, you know better, do better,
Do better.
basically.
You know better, do better.
Yep.
So before we get off of here, I just want to thank you again for coming to kick it with me. This has been an awesome episode. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
I know your fiance, he talks about you all the time. He was like, look, I need her to be on the show. I was like, okay. So, tell her to reach out, send me this and it. And you came back with it. And I love how you came back with it. You was like, KeKe, do you love me? I was like, yeah, that's my girl right there. For real. But is there any closing words or words of encouragement or any last comments or whatever that you would like to leave listeners with today?
Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you as well, Ms. KeKe, for having me on your
You're
podcast.
welcome.
It's my first one, and I was nervous, but then the more we kind of vibed a little bit, I wasn't nervous no more. So, thank you for having me, and thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Look, hold up for a minute. Did y'all hear that? I am her first podcast. So y'all don't
First one.
hate. KeKe is the first. Y'all make sure y'all come and reach out to her though, because she needs to be on y'all platform. Anybody that's listening that's got a podcast out there or any type of show, y'all hit up Keisha so she can come and pour into your audience, man, because she just poured it into me. And I know she's pouring into y'all who's listening. So thank you again. It's been a pleasure. Like, I'm the first. Like, she gonna always remember me.
I will always remember this. So I truly thank you. It's been a pleasure. Like, it's been fun. Just been able to express everything. Like, it's just been so cool, so natural, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
And
You're
just for the
welcome.
readers, like I said, whatever it is you're doing, just go for it. I mean, whether it's successful, whether it's not successful, just do it. At the end of the day, you won't have any regrets because you tried it. And that's the biggest thing. So just go for whatever it is, pray about it. Don't rush yourself. Be patient. Time gonna go anyway. So, I mean, you can't You
Can't
can't
slow it
really rush
down. Right.
yourself. Do your best in whatever it is that you're putting your mind to it, and if it's for you, it's gonna happen. So don't even stress over it.
Yeah, that was it, y'all. Y'all heard it here from Keisha. She just dropped some more gems. Like for real. I don't even have nothing else to say, but I'm back every Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, and let's just keep loving on each other. Until next time, you have been listening to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. Make sure y'all go and support this new author. Like, go get
Yes,
her
I
book, man,
appreciate
for
that.
real. And let's make this a great year. A great
Yeah.
year. No excuses. Get up and do it. And
Yep.
if you know better, in the words of Keisha, if you know better, do better.
Yes.
Love and light, y'all. I'm out.
Peace.